I do like my coffee to be a little bit lighter in color, so nothing
Ever
dark.
seen the color scale of like
I would
coffee?
say like in more towards the right side where it's slightly lighter, but not pale as milk. So
It's not straight milk,
no,
but it's also not. But yeah, I hear you.
no.
Hi, welcome to our ClearVoice Questionnaire. I'm Taylor Moon, Senior Manager of Content Marketing here at ClearVoice, and today I'm joined here by Hannah. Hey, Hannah.
Hi, thanks for having me, Taylor.
Of course, welcome. Now, first question for you. Are you ready for the ClearVoice Questionnaire?
I think I am, so go ahead.
No worries. Pretty simple. What is the most used app on your phone?
Oof. It used to be TikTok, not gonna lie. I kind of had to let that go a little bit. So now it is Chrome just to search up random things. And I would say there's I guess, Pinterest, because I gotta get my fix somewhere for a lot of curated feed.
I hear you. And you know what? Good on you for trying to navigate from away from the endless scrolling, but I hear
Yes.
you. I hear that. And what is one thing, could be big, small, you name it, that you believe you're really good at?
Ooh, I would say like outside of art and design, I'm a pretty good singer. I like to,
Okay.
yeah, not professionally trained or anything, but I am pretty good at karaoke, so I can hold a tune pretty well.
Then I have to ask, what is your go-to karaoke song? Everyone has one, right? What's the go-to song?
Oof. I would say there's three that I like to sing in rotation. So, one is this 90s song called Loveful by the Cardigans. I sing that
Yes.
all the time. ABBA's Dancing Queen. I had to sing that growing up as a kid in front of my relatives a lot, so I
So
know it
it's not.
by heart. Yeah. And then I guess Fall Out Boy's Sugar We're Going Down is just a classic, so I sing that a lot too.
Okay. Fun facts. I do know you would participate in karaoke, but I did not expect that as an answer. So learning things here. Do you have any specific rituals that kind of help you get into your workflow?
Yeah, I would say, like every morning I start off with like walking my dogs and kind of petting them to get their encouragement for the day, and then always making some kind of latte. I've That became my ritual recently, so sometimes like a pumpkin spice latte or just like something
Fancy.
just with syrups, nothing fancy, or like a matcha latte. So I feel like a fun drink always gets me in a good mood.
I hear you. Okay. So this kind of goes into my next question
Mhm.
and is how do you take your coffee?
Always kind of sweet. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a black coffee type of person, so I like a good ratio of kind of like coffee and milk, and
Mhm.
then definitely some sweetness to it. Not overly sweet, but definitely it needs to be like on the sweeter side. And then I do like my coffee to be a little bit lighter in color, so nothing dark.
Ever seen the color scale of like
I would
coffee?
say like in more towards the right side where it's slightly lighter, but not pale as milk. So
It's not straight milk,
no,
but it's also not. But yeah, I hear you.
no.
And so, next question here is what's your favorite board game?
I would say like I wish I fully knew the names. It's the one with like something of Catan. I always forget like the first half. That one I like a lot because you're kind of like building little empire in a sense and like gathering. It's like Monopoly, but I think a little more exciting because it almost feels like a fantasy realm in a sense. So I
Yeah,
really like that one. And then kind of games you can play with your friends. So Codenames is another one I really like.
I do not
So
know this one.
basically, you line up a bunch of random words on a table, and then you and one other person are kind of like the leaders of your team, and you have a little card that only you, the leaders, can see with positions of the colors that represent your team, including one black color, which is like instant loss if your
Oh,
team chooses that one. So you kind of have to use code words to kind of get your team to choose the right cards or
oh,
words.
interesting.
So definitely a good party game for sure.
I was about to say, it seems more of like, yeah, that would be fun. I'm gonna have to look that one up. So I like that. Um, cool. And what's one habit that you're currently trying to build, that you're just currently trying to make a habit, if you will?
Yeah, I would say I'm trying to do the 10K steps a day. So, working remotely, sometimes getting your steps in can be really hard. And I
Yeah.
noticed, like, it's kind of helps me get more motivated and energized. So, trying to get that in at least one half in the morning and the other half in the evening because I could not do it all in the morning. So,
Yeah.
yeah, trying to get my steps in.
I hear you. I need to do the same. That's why I have my Apple Watch, if you will, and I'm always checking it. And I'm sure you have an answer here, but trying to distill it down to one, have you ever taken on a project or a customer that really pushed you out of your comfort zone? And if so, tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. I would say there was one recently where it was a type of collateral that I had never created before. And so I would say that one was kind of tough because since I thought I had all it down, and then once I sent the first version in, there was a lot of like, I guess, like mistakes that were made. So I had to really learn from the feedback that they gave me in order to improve. And it did make me learn more about like design world of physical print and stuff like that, being more careful with like certain colors or making sure
Sure.
things line up versus digital that you can kind of swing it, kind of be a little loose with like certain stuff. So I think it was definitely a challenge. I think it was for the better though, because I learned a lot. And I think that's something over time I had to kind of learn how to be able to take feedback, even though sometimes it does kind of wound your pride a little bit,
Sure.
and kind of learn from it. So for not only the customer, but also for myself. So to kind of improve and all that.
I hear you. So, kind of, two things that came out of that is like just
Hmm.
receiving feedback and building from it on your own.
Yeah.
Uh, and then also just like something net new that was like not a norm for you and having to
Right.
kind of like feel it out and learn from it, right? So
Mhm.
interesting. Yeah. You mentioned a little bit about your drinks, if you will, in the morning, like a latte starting your day. But aside from that,
Mhm.
is there one thing that can just like instantly make your day better?
Ooh. I'd say a good playlist, whenever I'm looking and I see like a recommended video for recommended song or like those 3 hour playlists that are really popular now, I feel
Hmm.
like it's kind of like a treat because it's like something for me to like listen to and discover new artists that way. And
Yeah.
kind of motivates me if I'm in a working mood or when I'm like personal time, it's kind of like, oh wow, I love this song. I wonder who it is. So yeah, a good playlist always gets me in the mood to be happier.
Two questions, if you will, left for you here. If you could snap your fingers and instantly be an expert in something, what would it be?
I think an expert, I guess, like in like cooking and baking, because I feel like that's a hobby I have on the side, and I'm always learning new recipes. But I feel like sometimes they're hit or misses, so it's kind of like I wish I kind of knew how to just make it automatically so I could have the dish right in front of me or just be able to create it instinctively because sometimes, especially with cooking, I tend to wing it and sometimes you miss, like I miss too salty or something. So that would be a skill I would love to have. And then I guess being able to get a design right the first try would be another.
I hear you. On the cooking or baking front, I have to ask now, are you someone that just kind of like eyeballs or do you like measure? Like by the
Baking,
books?
I have to measure, even though sometimes I don't want to measure. I have to. But cooking, I do wing it, and I've been told I'm heavy on salt. So that's just something I have to kind of figure out still.
Yeah, you know what? What's a bit more salt? So
Yeah.
I love that. All right. So last one. This might require you to think a little bit, but also try to just nail it, if you will.
Okay.
Describe the rest of your life in 5 words.
I would say creativity, travel, dogs, um, family, and I would say dreams.
I love all of that. Those are great words. That's
Thank
like mood
you.
board for. I
It's my
love it.
future vision board I'm gonna have.
I love that. That's awesome. Well, thank you, Hannah.
Mhm.
That is it for our Clear Voice questionnaire. So if you would like to check out more of our questionnaires from the Clear Voice team, go on over and check it out. And if you're looking for the content you need with the quality you expect, head on over to clearvoice.com today.